Because when you have control of all these different areas we just talked about, okay, stress, sleep, okay, when you have control of all those areas, that's going to boost your immunity. That's going to cause your immunity to not be easily penetrated, okay? It's not. And I'm going to get in talking about your life force energy, which is the thymus gland. The thymus gland is the most important part of the immune system because that's where your life force energy is generated, in your thymus gland. I'm gonna show y'all a short video, me doing a muscle test of this guy. It may not see it that well, but it'll give you some idea, I guess, of what I'm doing. Those that may not be familiar with muscle testing or kinesiology, which basically help us detect nutritional deficiencies in the body. And basically, when we do a muscle test, I may raise the person's arm up to shoulder level like that, and I'll be pressing just with my hand, pressing down on their arm. And the distance that it goes up and down will tell whether it's weak or strong. And I have the other hand on a stimulus point on their body. The stimulus point up here on your head is stress. You can measure stress. I'm gonna be measuring his thymus gland, which is down in this area. So I'm gonna show y'all this short video, but I just wanna add, Indians call this life force energy prana. Egyptians call it ka. And of course, the Chinese call it qi. Some of y'all may have heard of feng shui. Feng shui is the flow of qi in an environment. I always remembered, I had a book. I'm not sure what happened to it. I seem to lose some of my best books, especially when I move or somebody borrow it. But I had a book on feng shui, and I remember reading in there, it said in the bedroom, your bed should always face north for good qi, for good flow of qi in your bedroom. Your bed should face north. My bed faces north. Every time I move, when I go in the bedroom, I always locate north, and I make sure my bed is facing that way. So that much I remember of my feng shui. So let's get into this video. It's gonna talk a little bit more about the life force energy and me doing muscle testing with somebody. And it's gonna talk a little bit about constitution, because your constitution can be strong or weak. And basically what constitution is whether a person, somebody that gets sick a lot and then they have trouble recovering from an illness or sickness, that person have a weak constitution versus someone that has a strong constitution, someone that don't get sick that much, or if they do get sick, they can recover much quicker, okay, from the illness. That means you have a strong constitution.
And I can attest to that too. Let me just take a survey. Anybody in here, black men, that has no issues with all the different diseases they say that we have, like high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, heart disease, prostate problems, I can go on and on. Any black men don't have any problems with that. Okay, we got one back there. Okay, how old are you?
I'm 30.
You're 30. Check that out. I'm 57, but through the company that I work with, Nature Sunshine Products, they have this sophisticated equipment, and they measured, you know, like my total cholesterol, they measured my body fat and all of that, and they also told my biological age. My biological age was 32, so I'm only 2 years older than you, young man. You said you're 30? At 57, biologically, my body is 32. And that comes from just what this lady was talking about, juicing. I drink fresh juice every morning. Every single morning. And I also put that live greens, the superfoods that she also was talking about. I have a mix that I do, and I put it in my juice, those superfoods. I've been doing this for over 15 years. And that's why I can say today, and like she says, no brag here, it's just fact. I'm a vegetarian with a regimented diet. And I put emphasis on regimented because I've been very disciplined most of my life. But I want to let y'all know where I came from. Anybody seen Eddie Murphy's movie, The Nutty Professor? Mm-hmm. Okay, that was basically a page out of my life when I saw it. Big Sherm, that basically was me. What happened to me one day, way back in the 80s, in 48 hours, I weighed like 150. I gained over 200 and something pounds. I was like 250 or more. 150 to over 250 in 48 hours. It was, I couldn't believe it. It was like madness. I mean, my feet started swelling up. It looked like I had elephantitis. And it started going up my ankle, up my leg. And before I knew it, I had to go to the hospital. And I was in the hospital for 2 months, dealing with a kidney disease, nephrotic syndrome. And when that hit me, I said, oh no, something is wrong here. I need to make a change. And I made that change. That's why I'm standing in front of y'all today. Never had any of those illnesses they talk about. That kidney disease was the last one. Nephrotic syndrome, that was it. I made a vow to myself when my mother died of heart disease. I will not have no problems with heart disease. It runs through my family. I will not have no problem with my heart. Because not only eating, the diet, the juicing, and like Prince was talking about food combining, yeah, sometimes I do that. If I got issues going on or something in my digestive system, I'll get to food combining. And some people say I'm a health nut, but you know what? I think I came from the extreme, and for me to go to the other end, it doesn't what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to just test you. Hold your arm up, just hold it there, and I'm going to just test you right quick. Just kind of resist naturally. Okay, not too strong. See how his arm seems to be kind of strong when I push on it? Okay, you can put it down. Sometimes it may be weak. Now we do that. Now I'm going to tell you to put a fist here, a fist there, and we're going to locate your the tips of your finger. Touch in that area. Okay, now put your arm up. Okay, naturally resist. Naturally. Okay, see how weak that is now? That's pretty weak. Do y'all agree? It wasn't as strong as before. You can put it down. Okay. That means his life force energy is not that strong.
And I'm not barely doing anything. FYI. You know that. I'm not even resisting.
His is pretty strong. It's a little stronger. And I can attest he does eat somewhat healthy from what we know. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, anybody have any candy out there?
Right there.
Okay, you just hold that to your heart.
Right.
Okay.
7 o'clock.
Naturally. Naturally.
I am.
Okay. See how far it's going down now? That sugar is not doing anything. Let's take that back. Now let's hold that to your heart. Can y'all see how strong it is now? It's not going down as much. Do y'all see that?
It's actually stronger than before. It's stronger than before.
Stronger than before because this is B complex. Okay, if you didn't know, to strengthen your life force energy, just one thing, there's many other things can do this, but B complex, something I use all the time because I exercise and work out too, can build your life force energy.
But I just wanted to emphasize Thim J. This is the product that we use to build the thymus gland. Like I was saying, I use a lot of different things, and a lot of different things can have an effect, like B complex, on your thymus gland. But this product is a herbal formula, a combination of herbs that's specifically made to help build the thymus gland. Thim J. And so now we had the question and answer. So whoever had the questions about the chicken or whatever, the hog maws, the chitlins, come on with the questions. Let me address them.
Mine was about the chicken.
What you want to know about chicken?
You mentioned the beef, you mentioned the pork. Yes, I eat a lot of chicken. Now, my desire is to even get off chicken, to be a vegetarian at some point. That's my desire.
Okay, well, I believe you are a vegetarian because you said it seems like you already stopped eating beef and pork.
Oh, that was never, no, I
Okay,
haven't eaten beef and pork in years, but
so
it's
you are a
like
vegetarian.
chicken.
To my definition, you are a vegetarian already. It's just evolving to a different type. Like I'm a pescatarian. I only eat fish. And let me tell you about my journey with chicken. Okay, comedians say, I listen to Dave Chappelle sometimes. He did something on chicken. He said he went into this bar or something, or restaurant, and the guy said, I bet you want chicken. And he said, now, why he think I want chicken? Because I'm black, you know? Why he think I want chicken? And he started going through that whole thing. And I was thinking about it. I said, you know what? We will eat chicken anyway, whether it's cold, leftover chicken on the stove. You know what I'm saying? Cold out of the refrigerator. It doesn't matter. We will still eat that chicken. And I started thinking, I said, why are we so hooked on this bird? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why it has that kind of control? When I lived in Philadelphia, I had cut down on my consumption of chicken, and this is what I cut down to. On Sunday after church, I used to go by the Popeyes and get me a little two-piece, okay? That was only on Sunday. When I left Philly, I was about ready to leave there. I thought about it. I said, you know what? You need to let go of that Popeyes. I love some Popeyes. And I say, you need to let it go because that's the only time I ate chicken then was after church on Sunday. And I did. I let it go. And I stopped going by the Popeyes. And I said, I know you can do it. Don't go to that Popeye. And I stopped. And that's when I cut chicken out. It was about maybe a couple of weeks before I left the East Coast coming back to California. And I've never eaten chicken since. And you know what? When I became a pescatarian, that was after I left Philadelphia, I became a pescatarian. I only eat fish. I don't eat seafoods. I eat cold water fish. It makes me feel heavy. I can't even finish if I did eat some chicken. I couldn't even finish it. It makes me feel so heavy. When you become a vegetarian and you start evolving in higher levels like pescatarianism, vegetarianism, and flexitarian and all of that, your body don't need that heavy substance and it feels it. It feels it and it don't feel good. So you just need to evolve. Become a pescatarian. Only eat fish. Cold water fish. That'll be another evolution. Because some pescatarians, they eat any kind of fish. I don't. I only eat cold water. I don't eat those that's on the bottom of the ocean, like the snapper, like the catfish, like the what's the other one start with an S? I always forget that. Karen, you know.
Shrimp,
Wow.
Okay, all of them that they named. Those things are terrible. They
squid.
eat the crud. They eat the crud on the bottom of the ocean. All of the crustaceans, they eat crud on the bottom of the ocean. Lobster, crab, shrimp. They eat the crud on the bottom of the ocean. What I want that for? I want that toxic mess in my body. That's why I only eat cold water fish. Cold water fish has a high amount of omega fatty acids. Omega fatty acids.
Give me an example of cold water fish. Give me an example of some
Trout,
cold water
trout,
trout.
bass, tuna.
Okay,
Okay, I can keep going. It's a lot of them. Just
I eat
look
a
it
lot
up.
of
But
trout.
it's a lot of. But trout, it's a problem with trout, and I love trout. Trout is overfarmed, is overfished, and they have to farm it. So farm fish is not as good as wild caught. Okay, wild caught is the best. Trout is overfished, so they have to farm a lot of trout, and it's concerns because the bacteria, you know, they keep them in these farms, almost like chickens. The bacteria that grows and things like that.
Okay.
Okay, so but cold water fish, I love bass, a yellow striped bass, a Chilean bass. Oh man, I love it. Tuna is cold water. Tuna, that's
Is
cold
salmon,
water.
is
Salmon.
salmon,
Well, Salmon is cold water. But it's a problem with salmon, just like trout. Salmon is overfished. It's overfished and they have to farm it. And then when it comes to farming, you got to be careful because they got to put chemicals in there to kill bacteria, because the fish are grouped up in an area when they farm it. So, a little now and then may be okay.
How do you get through foods? What carries the most amino acid?
What foods?
Yes.
Okay, that's something I would have to research and look at.
Okay.
But there's a variety of amino acids, Nikki. There's a variety of amino acids. And if it's something that you're looking particularly at as far as your health with amino acids, then I need to know that because it's a variety of amino acids.
Okay.
Right? You know that? There are.
No, I didn't know.
Right? Yeah, it's a variety. I can tell you about one I use. I don't know if I talked about it. When I got over my anxiety, I used the NutriCalm, which I talked about, and I also used GABA. I think I was talking to you about it one time, Mildred. GABA is an amino acid. It's a long name. I think it's gamma butyric acid, gamma something butyric acid. It feeds the brain because anxiety is a brain disorder. Okay, as well as a mental stressor. It's a brain disorder too. So it helps feed the brain, GABA. And I was using that after the NutriCalm to get over my anxiety, along with the meditation and deep breathing. Any more questions? I'm gonna go into my herbal program. All right, let me do this. I'm gonna start putting stuff in the chat, and these are some of the products or just about all of the products that I use in my herbal program. First, I was using this product we have called CCA. CCA is one of our products that we use for like normal colds and flu. Okay, just about any normal cold and flu, I would use CCA. Okay, it's a combination of herbs, and it once you open those documents, you'll be able to see the ingredients in it. But CCA, once you start taking that, it handles those cold, flu, whatever it is that you're dealing with. It's a weakness somewhere in my throat because when I get hit with a virus, my throat starts getting sore, and I have a sore throat, or sometimes I get strep throat. And so the same thing happened. It hit my throat, and I noticed that. And so I started using this product that we have here. If y'all can see this silver, this bottle, this silver, this is called Silver Soul. It's an aqua silver. And what you do, you just have to put a little bit, you put enough water in a cup to gargle with. Just a little amount of water to gargle with. And then you put like a aspirin dropper full in that water, okay, which is just a little bit. It can equate to like 30 drops of it in that water. And you gargle that for 1 minute. When I'm dealing with something pretty tough, I may gargle for 2 minutes, okay? And after a few days, you're gonna notice this thing is killing whatever it is that's in your throat. So that's the first thing I had to do because that's where I got hit. And then after that, I started using the CCA. So I started using the CCA right here, the second one down. And I noticed I didn't have like a full bottle. I only had like a half a bottle of the CCA. So I couldn't really tell whether that was, being effective, because I didn't have a full bottle. So I looked and I only had remnants of my herbs, unfortunately, during this time. And I did find this bottle of ET, and I usually don't use this like for colds or flu or anything, but this ET, what they call SCAT, is a product that a nurse used. Actually, I think she created it. she used with cancer patients. This, I start using it, and to make it more potent, I open up the capsules because it comes in capsules like these. I open up the capsules, took 2 capsules and opened it up in 4 ounces of hot water, and I made a tea out of it. And I started drinking that tea because I had ran out of the CCA. I started drinking the ET, and I noticed after like 4 or 5 days, this thing was taking a tremendous effect on whatever it was that I was dealing with. And when I got done with that ET, I had fully eradicated that out of my body. And I'm telling you, I had to cough. I was coughing. I had a insistent cough. It wouldn't stop like smokers. I had fluid on my lungs. When I was laying down in the bed at night, I noticed this fluid rolling around in my chest. And I was like, what the heck is that? And so I totally eradicated it using ET. So this is the viral attack program that I recommend. You can use all of these. You know, the silver, of course, helps with the throat. If you don't have a problem usually with your throat, you may not need the silver. But I'm telling you, silver is a powerful product too, because you can have ear infection, and you can just take a couple of drops and put in your ear if you had an ear infection, and it would take that out. That silver would deal with it. Or you could use maybe just the ET and the CCA if you were actually having a viral attack. This is what you would use. Not to build, you would use this to attack it, to get rid of it. You can find this on my website. Okay, so these are the attackers. And this next slide is what you would build with. This is our basic immune builder. So this is if you're not trying to fight any virus off or any onset, some foreign invader in the body. This is just to build your defense. The Thim J is the one that builds the thymus gland. I would go with that first, you know, to build your life force energy. Remember, that's what the thymus gland does, builds your life force energy. You have a weak constitution or a strong constitution. You know, I can help you, you know, if you need to be muscle tested, but y'all saw basically how I do that. You can kind of tell if you get sick a lot and you don't recover eat that well, you have a weak constitution. If you're the opposite, you don't get sick that much, and when you do get sick, you recover pretty quickly or pretty easily, you got a strong constitution. Then you may not, you know, need to take them, J, if you got a strong constitution. Or maybe you do. Because remember, those lifestyle behaviors, all you need is to miss an hour of sleep, or it's to be emotionally disturbed somehow, or dealing with some kind of grief or some kind of emotional stressor. And that will poke a hole in your immunity. Because what I didn't tell y'all is that I was fasting. For the very first time, I said, I'm gonna fast because I wanted to increase my relationship with the higher. And so I did the fast according to, you know, the Bible, how you're supposed to only drink water. And that's what I did. For 3 days, I was only drinking water, nothing else. I wasn't taking none of my herbs. I wasn't drinking none of my special juices, no food, nothing. And I noticed how weak I was. And I felt vulnerable. I was like, man, I am weak. Because I actually thought I was going to be able to work out. I was going to the gym the first and second day, trying to work out on the elliptical. But that third day, when it hit me, I was like, my body was so weak. And I knew that I wasn't able to go to the gym. I stayed home. I said, you better keep your butt at home. And so the third day, I was only drinking water. And then I said, you know what? I think I need to start adding my juices, my special juices that I drink in the morning, and some of my herbs, because I just didn't like feeling that vulnerable. And I thought, okay, I did 3 days only water. I think that's good. And they say your clarity is very clear when you fast. My clarity was out the roof. I could not believe how clear how well my clarity was and how it improved. That was basically, I know my immune system was down then, and I dealt with it with our attack program. So the defense maintenance is all of the different vitamins and minerals from a good source. This organization I'm with called the National Health Federation, they have a guy, I believe he's a scientist, a doctor, and they're all into holistic medicine. And he said you need vitamin A, B, C, and D, selenium, and vitamin E in order to deal with protecting yourself. So this is what defense maintenance have in it. Except for the D3, you can add the D3 and use the defense maintenance. It has all the different vitamins to protect your system. This is the one that you fight and do your viral attack. This is when you actually have some type of foreign enemy in your body that's invading you, whether it's a virus, bacteria, whatever. These are the products to kill it.